Hey, Corey Eubanks here. I am a managing broker in the state of Washington and a principal broker in the state of Oregon with Wise Move Real Estate. And I am here today with some tips for buyers for making your offer more competitive in this current market. Stick around at the end of the video. I have a little announcement which will help out some of those home buyers. And this is not a Mike Nichols film, but I am a fan. Uh, the Graduate, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, The Birdcage, Working Girl, Angels in America, so many good ones. Anyways, all right, let's get to business. The market is heating up. Inventory is down. Interest rates are really down. And buyers are getting competitive again. Houses are disappearing off the market sometimes in a matter of 24 to 48 hours. We're starting to see multiple offers again quite regularly on anything that's halfway decent. So, what can you do as a home buyer to strengthen your offer? Obviously, the first one is price. The more you can offer, the more the seller is going to like it. Because all the seller cares about mostly is what's going to be in their pocket at the end of the day. And secondarily, is this going to be a smooth process? So if you're able to go high, that's great. But there are some other things you can consider. Second, they want a smooth process. And that usually means if they get a cash offer, that's usually very attractive, as long as it's a good enough purchase price. So if you can do cash at a high offer, even better. And then there's a lot of different loans, and a conventional loan is the best way to go. That's usually the smoothest. Sellers, even though they shouldn't be worried about this, they sometimes get a little concerned about FHA and VA loans. There's some extra paperwork and bureaucracies, and so, and there's kind of a long-standing concern about them, even though they shouldn't be. So, but the bigger the down payment you're able to do, the less concern about the appraisal process. So that's one factor. So if you can have a conventional loan with a good high down payment, if you can go over 20%, do 25, 30, 40%, that would be great. Okay, closing costs. A lot of times buyers will ask the seller to help with closing costs. In a competitive situation, you're not going to want to do this because that's basically money out of their net proceeds. They don't care if you can't handle paying your closing cost in a competitive situation. So if you can get rid of that, a little tip, you might be able to negotiate some closing costs as part of the repair negotiations, getting a credit in lieu of repairs, depending on the situation. Are there any contingencies you can waive? If you're doing a down payment, you might be able to waive appraisal. But I'd be very careful about waiving contingencies. Something you might be able to do is tighten them up a little bit. If you're able to wrap up your inspections quickly, if you have a really good team in place like I do, you might be able to offer a shorter contingency period, maybe 6 days for inspections instead of the standard 10. Anything to make things go a little faster and smoother and put the seller's mind at ease. Sometimes sellers need to stay in the house for anywhere from 2 or 3 days to 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, depending on what their situation is. Offer free rent back. That's a no-brainer. Um, you're gonna you're not really going to lose that much money by doing that, and it's a huge sigh of relief for the sellers to know that they can stay in the house while they transition into their next home rent free. So we can talk about the numbers for your particular situation, but that should be a no-brainer. Finally, now that we got all the numbers and contract stuff out of the way, this is where you can get creative. I know you often hear about letters to the seller. Be very, very careful with that. I do have a PR and marketing background, so I have advised some people and guided them with letters that have really hit home and gotten them the deal over higher offers. But we have to be very careful. One thing, you never know where sellers' prejudices and biases and interests are going to lie. Keep the letter focused on the seller. Keep it focused on the house. Assure them that if this is a home that has a great deal of pride of ownership, assure them that you are going to be the one to take care of this home now and forever. Also, if you have some sort of special service you could offer, that'd be great. Are you an artist? Maybe you could do a family portrait for them. A few years ago, someone owned a pizza joint and they offered a year of free pizza, and that sealed the deal. So that's where you can start to get a little creative. All right. Those are some tips. Every buyer is different. Every listing is different. Every situation is different. And that's what I'm here to do, is to help guide you through all that. Okay, I have an announcement. On Saturday, March 7th, I'll be hosting a home buyer workshop, and we're going to talk about some of this stuff a little more in depth. We only have room for about 15 people. I'm going to be co-hosting it with Kristen Brown of Fairway Independent Mortgage. I've been working with her for 10 years. She is the best. And for the first 10 people who RSVP and show up, we have a special little treat to give away from Rose Apothecary, the store in the little town of Schitt's Creek. If you watch Schitt's Creek, you'll know what I'm talking about. So we have some little gifts from there. What is it? We'll see. And we'll also have some food and drink to help with all this adulting. All right, let me know if you have any questions. This is a longer video than normal, but there's a lot of information packed in there, so drop me a line, and hopefully we'll see you on March 7th. Spread the word. Thanks. Bye.